Hey there guys, what's going on? It's Mike here, coming at you from Badlands Paintball. Well, recently we've been getting a lot of requests on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page, so we definitely appreciate that, guys. But one of the more recent requests was for us to take a look at protective gear. I think with the summer starting up here, it's getting quite hot, but guys definitely want to still stay protected out there on the paintball field. So they're looking for lightweight ways to get some extra bounces out there and just take away that pain a bit. So we're going to go over protective gear here today. So I do have some bounce vest here, or a bounce shirt, chest protector. We do have some slide shorts here to protect your hips and butt and the crotch, of course. We've got arm guards for sliding and diving, knee pads for crawling around in the dirt, and some headbands and neck guards as well as a helmet to take a look at. So I'm actually going to bring you guys in a little bit closer here just so you can get a little more of a close-up view on each piece of gear. We'll go over it all and tell you guys exactly what to look for. So come on in closer, I'll show you what's up. So one of the main pieces, a very popular piece of equipment, especially for a lot of tactical players in terms of protecting their head, is going to be a helmet. Now, fair warning, right off the bat, a helmet is one of the heavier and definitely less breathable options in terms of head protection. Now it's also going to be the most protective. So that's always going to be a balance that you're going to have, guys, right across the board for all of your protective gear. It's always going to be a balance between being lightweight and breathable and being protected. So this helmet is definitely going to be the more protective side compared to being lightweight and breathable. Now, not to say that it isn't breathable, because this particular helmet, you do have a lot of ventilation throughout. This is actually the PJ helmet here. Really nice helmet across the board. It has a lot of options in terms of mounting for night vision. You have rails across the side here that you can actually attach weaver rail to for maybe you have a camera, maybe you have flashlights, what have you. But all across the board, extremely protective. So definitely at paintballs, not going to be going through this thing, and there's very little area around it for paintballs to sneak through. Now when you're looking for a helmet, guys, a few tips. You definitely want to have a lot of space around the sides here where your ears are. That's where your ear flaps for your paintball mask are going to come in. If you have something that drops right down, even like a BMX helmet, let's say, you're going to struggle getting your mask underneath there. There's also SWAT style helmets that Badlands and other people carry that pop out a little more at the side, so they actually leave some space for those ears to slide in underneath. Another thing that you're going to want to look for is a lot of adjustable foam. So this particular helmet is very high end, so it actually has a lot of adjustable pieces on the inside here, but you can also adjust and move around the different parts of the foam. Depending on how the mask sits in your head, you might want to remove foam out of the back, out of the front, what have you, to make sure it sets up for you properly. So again, when you're looking for a helmet, just make sure you go in with your paintball mask, try them all on, and make sure it works for you. Now, on the lighter side of things, something that I prefer personally is going to be your head wraps and your headbands. So generally speaking, the lighter weight headgear for paintball is going to come in those two forms. You're going to have a head wrap, which actually has a bandana across the front, moisture wicking on the inside, but it has a mesh sheet that kind of goes across the top of your head and down the back of your neck. Very much like a do-rag, you could say, I suppose. So the head wraps are going to be really great for protecting your hair as well as your forehead from getting painty and from getting bruised. The headband is the exact same thing as the head wrap, just without that mesh across the back. So your hair is going to be hanging all out the top. You could definitely get a little more painty, but across the top of across the forehead, both of these are going to provide ample protection. Keep in mind, when you have the paintball mask on and you're looking straight at somebody, there's very little of the top of your head actually showing. It's really just going to be mainly your forehead. So if you're protecting your forehead with either of these, it's going to be great. The other main advantage to each one of these that a lot of people underestimate in terms of a headband is going to be its moisture wicking potential. So this is going right across the front of your brow. That means you're going to stick your paintball mask actually right on top of it, so you no longer have foam on skin. They also have sweatband material on the inside that is going to remove a lot of the sweat from your brow. This just means that there's a lot less moisture getting into your mask and causing you to fog up. So I can definitely recommend headbands. So now that we've moved away from the headgear, we can move into the actual body. We have a few options for these. Some of my favorite pieces of gear for wearing underneath your outer layers are going to be moisture wicking gear. So let's actually talk about this bounce vest first here. So I've actually talked about these Eclipse Overload jerseys before, and it's because I absolutely love them. So these Eclipse Overload jerseys do have moisture wicking materials. So this is meant to be a base layer. You will wear this underneath your other paintball clothing, and it is actually skin tight. So it's a compression style jersey. It sits really tight to your skin, but just amazing material. So this is going to help wick away all your moisture, all your sweat, keep you nice and cool. But as a bonus, it has tons of protection up the side, through the chest, across the shoulders, and on the arms there as well too, as well as completely up the back. So this is a very low profile, lightweight, moisture wicking way to help create some bounces out there, but also help take away the pain of the paintball hit. And this particular Eclipse Overload jersey is one of the only ones that actually has rib protection up the side, which I really, really like. So if you're not, if you already have a moisture wicking jersey like an Under Armour or something like that, and you do want a little more protection, you will absolutely love this one here. Now the other type of first layer clothing that we do have are going to be slide shorts. Now slide shorts are great in that, again, they come with amazing moisture wicking materials, both in this Exalt version and the Eclipse version here. So both of them have really nice moisture wicking materials. Then they have tons of padding up the hip, through the crotch as well, and actually in some cases even in the back where your actual pod pack's going to be sitting in terms of this Eclipse Overload jersey version, I should say. And even extra hip padding right in here. So I would recommend these for a lot of players who are going to be doing sliding and diving on the paintball fields. And don't think that this is just for speedball guys. In fact, I would beg to differ. In terms of a woods ball player, you're going to be sliding and diving on rocks and roots potentially, whereas a tournament player on a nice field is going to be sliding on grass or turf. Not going to hurt nearly as much. So these are definitely going to be great for everybody, and you know what, just provide all the protection that you need and at the same time wick away all that moisture. So arm guards and knee pads are my favorite pieces of paintball protection because they're the ones that I notice most, okay? When I'm crawling, when I'm diving, or I go down on a knee, I immediately notice when I don't have a knee pad. And I absolutely love arm guards, of course, for diving, but I notice them most for getting bounces. Generally speaking, when you're popping out of your bunker, you're gonna show your face, your hand, your gun, and your arm, okay? And if you can get bounces off your arm, that's extremely beneficial. Now when it comes to the actual arm guards themselves here, they too come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, but generally speaking, they're all going to be nice and moisture wicking and very breathable on the inside with this Exalt version, our dye version here, as well as our Eclipse version. They've all got very lightweight materials on the inside. But where they will differ is going to be in the actual hand guard or lack thereof, and essentially how far around the padding is going to wrap. So you can see in terms of the Eclipse arm guard here and the Exalt arm guard, they keep them very lightweight on the inside, and they have very lightweight, unpadded just loops for your finger or for your hands. So they're going to allow a player to use gloves on top of these arm guards. The dye arm guard here actually has a complete hand gauntlet, if you will, just for the back of the hand with some padding on there. The padding also wraps a little bit farther around the arm guard itself. So some arm guards are going to make you feel like Batman, you know, they're really, really heavy duty, really beefy, you won't feel a darn thing, but they're going to be a little bit heavier, not quite as breathable. And then you're going to have the opposite end of the spectrum like the Exalt and the Eclipse arm guards here that are extremely lightweight, but maybe not quite as padded, so you can't take quite as much abuse compared to some of the heavier duty versions. Now where other differences will be in the arm guards is going to be how they strap at the top. All three of these actually just use elastic bands at the tops, but you will find that some will actually have a strap, and some, like the dye version here, will have a strap at the bottom around your wrist as well too. So in my opinion, if you had to pick any piece of paintball protection, it's going to be either the arm guards here, or, as I already mentioned, knee pads. So I love my knee pads. They all fit a little bit differently. One thing I will say about knee pads is one way or another, if you've never worn a knee pad before and you go ahead and try them on, it is going to feel awkward, okay? When you're running and you're not playing paintball, you're just walking around your house, you'll never be as comfortable wearing a knee pad as you are not wearing a knee pad. However, when you kneel down on a rock on the paintball field, you're going to be a lot more comfortable wearing a knee pad compared to not wearing them. And when you're running around out there, I'm sorry guys, I guarantee you, you will forget that you even have them on. It's just the way it is. When you try them on in the store, you're like, oh, you know, I don't know, feels a little bit uncomfortable. Have no fear, when you get on the field, you're going to feel great. You're going to just feel that much more confident. When you're using things like arm guards and knee pads, you don't even have to think about sliding or diving into your bunker. It's just natural. And then when you incorporate items like your slide shorts and your compression jerseys with padding, now you can just get out there with confidence. You know you're going to be lightweight, you know you're going to be breathable, but you know that if you get run down, it's not going to hurt nearly as bad as it did before, and maybe you'll even get some lucky bounces. Alright everyone, hopefully this video has given you guys a little bit better insight into the best possible gear that you could be wearing out there on the paintball field to keep you both cool and maneuverable, but of course protected, and hopefully get you guys some extra bounces so you're not just shot out there. You can keep on playing. So if you do want to see any of this gear that we looked at today, you can definitely check us out at any of our 8 locations across Canada. I've got tons of really cool guys and girls in those shops, so I'd be more than willing to help you guys out, show you guys what's going to fit best and might be the best playing style for you. Now if you can't get into any of our locations, make sure you check us out at www.BadlandsPaintball.com. That's our main website. We're going to have a complete selection full of sizes for all the gear that we talked about today, and of course then some. Now while you're online, like I always say, check us out on Facebook and Twitter, okay? Facebook's actually where we got the idea for this particular video. It's just a great place to hang out, talk about paintball, keep up with paintball news in general. Now you're already watching this YouTube video. Definitely appreciate it, guys. Badlands loves you for it. But make sure you post up and comment below. I want to hear what you guys thought about this video. I want to get, again, more ideas for the future. Definitely makes my job easy when I know what you guys want to see. So definitely let me know. Make sure you like this video and subscribe below if you do want to see more. And then, of course, check back next Wednesday for our weekly vlogs as well. So again, hopefully this video, guys, helped you out. We'll see you guys soon. But in the meantime, like I always say, make sure you grab yourself a paintball gun, throw on that paintball mask, and go on out there and have some fun on the field. See you guys soon.